So this week we're talking about my favorite thing ever, which is video games, and on top of that we're talking about our old video games, retro video games, which to me just means old since I've been playing video games since I was a wee young lad. Spread it back. So here we go. So really, I just wanted to give 3 of them big mentions. For my first one, we're gonna go with arcade, because honestly, I was such a Galaga kid and a Pac-Man kid. I mean, it was like all the time. So my grandfather, when I was younger, owned a laundromat that had a Pac-Man game in it, like arcade, like real arcade, whole size awesomeness. So of course I became a pro at Pac-Man, because what else was a kid to do in his grandfather's laundromat? Work? For my second game, I'm gonna go with PlayStation 1, which is the first console that I played Spyro on, and I do really miss Spyro because Spyro's like my childhood, dude. Like, between Spyro and Pokemon, that's like my childhood, like, crashed up into one giant thing. I've played every Spyro game. I mean, literally every single one. In the first Spyro, you could just run around and ram the sheep, and they would just bounce off the walls and shit, and you could like set them on fire and they would just like look at you like, and then they would be like little crispy sheep, and they were just so cute, and it was so much fun. And third, I wanted to talk about handheld console, which would be the Game Boy Advance, because I love the Game Boy Advance so much. I actually downloaded a Game Boy Advance emulator for my iPhone. No shame. Honestly, I just love video games. Like, I really do. I think they take you to another world. They let you... It's just like when you read a book. You know, it takes you to another world. It lets you experience this adventure, but it's more visual. You know, like, a book is great for your imagination, and so you can feel like you're in it. But a video game, like, you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're doing it. I'm definitely gonna be, like, one of those adult gamers. 100%. And aside from that, I really can't think of any other, like, retro games that I like. Retro is a very vague term, so, I mean, like, I could just go way back to, like, my Sega Genesis. Golden Axe, which was my shit, too. Let me tell you, that was such a good game, okay? Because, so you had this option of 3 different characters, right? You were this, like, little dwarf, and he had, like, stone abilities, and then you were this, like, sexy, like, fire girl. Or... this man. I don't really remember exactly what kind of abilities he had, but I always played as him because all he wore was just this little like caveman skirt, and he was just all shirtless and 64-bit muscular, like, so I would always play as him, and it was just so great because it was literally like your typical RPG. You would go through the side-scrolling levels, and you would defeat enemies, and you couldn't advance until the other enemies were gone, and it was so basic. But that's it for me today. If you guys did like it, give me a like and a thumbs up, and leave me a comment, of course, of your favorite retro video games, or any video games that you used to play, or, I mean, like, if you were like me and you grew up playing video games, like, what were your favorite childhood video games, basically? Any console, handheld, arcade, PC, because I was a big PC player too. Anything, just let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys again next week for Hump Day with David. Bye!